Hi, this is Turquoise Sekou from Sistas Law. I am coming to you today with my hashtag #MeToo. I talked to my soror and co-host Rosalind Charles of Sisters in Law, and I thought that it would not be honest if, as we come on this show and we indicate that we want to have a conversation, that I really wanted to be honest in all conversations that we have. I'm actually taping this because I didn't know how emotionally I would be able to finish it. So I wanted to, maybe kind of look at it even before I put it on live. Yeah, me too. In the wake of your Harvey Weinsteins and your Bill Cosbys and your R. Kellys and your Roger Ailes and your, Bill O'Reillys. It's difficult. Most of you know I'm a personality girl, but that doesn't leave me out of the Me Too. And it didn't just start when I was 50 or 40 or 30. It started a long time ago. And you know what we do as and Black women, because we have even least support, and I'm not saying that no other woman, absolutely no other woman, should ever have to go through being violated or anyone attempting to be violated. I can tell you straight, I've never been raped, but I have had men absolutely cross the line to the point where my personality is. It was either we're going to be fighting or you're going to let me out of this room. And I could tell you that every single time I was horrified and afraid to tell anyone. I remember my first experience as a young girl, and I didn't tell my mom till I was 21. And I think I told her because it was Oprah was doing a special on women who had been violated, and I said, if Oprah can do it, I can do it. And I remember telling my mom, and I almost wish I hadn't, because I had already kind of, dealt with it in my mind. At least I thought I had dealt with it in my mind. And my mother almost fell apart because the person was someone that she knew. And she felt that she should have known. And for most of you know, my mom is from Virginia, and my brothers and sisters graduated and went to school with my mom. And I, when I moved to New Jersey with my dad, and my mom kind of blamed herself because she thought the timing-wise that's why I left. And it really had nothing to do with my mom. But it had a lot to do with me feeling safer with my dad. And you think that, I kept it to myself so long that, I was tough. I can go through it. I can tell you that, relationships in my life, they didn't have a whole lot of chance to try to come in and take advantage of me. That was for sure. And then you become a professional. And, sometimes it's just subtle. They push up on you, they're married, and you kind of rebuff it, and you're going like, are you serious? And you just kind of keep moving. In the midst of my hurricane of my being a Superior Court judge and having to go through all of that I went through with the New Jersey politics, and that's really irrelevant at the moment, except that in my return and in my rise, you kind of had you got on bigger girl pants, okay, and people know that, and people take advantage of that because they know you need something, and they know that it's important to you. You're a mother, you're a single mother, you live in a very upper middle class area, and, they'll think you'll do anything. But, you know, I stay humbly in my space because I chose not to do anything. I have not gone back or gotten back to where I was at 56. You know, my career was supposed to have done a whole lot of other things. I went out to Hollywood. Everybody knows kind of a little bit if you follow me. But I just chose not to do anything, you know, just to get back to nothing is worth my pride and my standard as a mother, my standard as a woman, my standard as a Christian woman. And it's kind of difficult even as I speak to you right now, but I had to say me too, because I have a daughter, and I remember giving her I have an emergency button on her phone, and she only has to push one button to call mommy. It's called a companion app that tells me you're in trouble and you don't have to say anything, and it tells me exactly where she is. But I wanted to explain my last experience only because it kind of hurt more than than any of my other experiences, because the person, one, I'm not going to remotely say who it is, because he's you know, this is God, not me. He's no longer living. He's passed in the last year, and so it really doesn't matter to bring up his name. But I was out with a very good friend of mine, and he's mutually friends with another good friend of mine, which I didn't know. He's high up on the food chain, so I'm not even going to try to give any nuggets of who it may or who may not be. But he approached me while I was in a public place, and I did not recognize who he was. And a friend of mine said, "Oh, that's so-and-so." And I was like, okay, he was kind of in my personal space in a public place, and we were the only people of color there, my girlfriend and I. He and his party were outside smoking on a lounge. And this person, and I'm going to fast forward because it's just the crust of this is more at the end than it is what happened. You know, sometimes as women, we kind of get used to it, and we just, you know, we chalk it off, and we just don't want to complain because we don't want to stir the pot, and we want to try to keep our careers, we want to try to keep our name, we want to try to keep our dignity. So what really happened is he kind of got into my space, and when he did so, anybody know me, my reaction is swift. So I all right, you know, I tried to knock the hell out of him. That's basically what happened. He was intoxicated, so he actually, in this public place, he grabbed me very tight up, put his mouth in my neck, and actually grabbed me by the cheeks of my behind. Now my girlfriend is behind me. This time I physically put him on the floor. And again, I mean, first of all, I'm a public place, but he's so powerful. No one in the room moved. No one, not a bartender, not anyone. I mean, he's buying like $300-400 bottles of champagne. No white man in this place moved. We're the only two black women in this room. This is a man of color, of stature. No one moved. So we're standing in there. And only thing I know to do at this time, because I know he's very, very close to someone that I was close to. And I said to him, I mean, are you serious? You're so-and-so's friend. She's my friend. And on top of that, he's a married man. He's like, oh, I effed her too. So, you know, what's your problem? This is how bold some men are. He actually said to my face in front of everybody in this room, I effed her too. But let me tell you where the insult came. I was devastated. And me and my happy behind, I went to his place of where he was, and I asked for a public apology. Or I was prepared to take it to the wall. And then he apologized, and he gave me these 99,000 reasons as to He got a problem, and, like, your problem ain't my problem. This is where I'm going. The person that he named who was a friend of mine, who this said all came out about. Out of the blue, she stopped talking to me. I mean, I don't even know what you do with that. His violation, I could stand. I've studied all my life, and I have fought to the wall to maintain my status as a woman, as a Black woman, and I choose not to be a weak woman. And I'm not saying that no one should go by my standards, because I can be a little gruff. I'm not even trying to make myself any different, any stronger, or any way anyone else should proceed. But he passed, and I am sure that he told her this story. She's never spoken to me again. So, yeah, there are a lot of professional women out there, and no woman should ever be violated. But those who go along with the men and stay silent because they choose that route to get where they are should not. You shouldn't blame me. You shouldn't blame other women. There are some, if you think that some women didn't get past Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby and Roger Ailes and all these other men of power, yeah, some women just took it and kept it moving because that's how bad they wanted it. And I'm not here to grade any woman in her choice to do whatever she chooses to do. But if you choose to just be silent, that's your choice. But pick another woman up who is not as strong as you, who may not have been able to get past it and to move forward. So we as women need to come together, not apart. Do not use it as a stick to keep another woman down, and just help another woman out. A female, a young child. I talk to girls all the time, my daughter's friends, because I don't ever want my daughter to be able to say, me too. Thank you for joining me. It's a short, but from my heart. And for every woman that has had to experience this, I am praying for you that you can get through it. Don't use it as a weapon against other men. Don't use it as a weapon to arm your daughters with, but definitely use it as something, as a teachable moment, as bad as it may be. God bless you. And join us again with Sistas Law on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and make sure you subscribe. We'll see you next week. Judge Sekou and Attorney Roz with Sistas Law. Talk to you soon.